Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. We're going to get back into more foodie beauty content. We are back with two new videos. She uploaded yesterday. She's currently not doing any live streams right now. I think it's because of the locale situation currently going on. That being said, now that we have those two videos, we can do them and post them today. I was going to do them yesterday, but unfortunately my laptop did take a page out of Amber's book and had a mental breakdown. So I had to completely reset it from factory settings and reinstall everything again. So hopefully my voice and everything sounds just as good as it did before, and all the settings and everything are back to where essentially where I like them. I may have to tweak a couple things, may have to change a couple things, but hopefully we'll get back there very quickly. That being said, we're just going to get straight into the video and let Foodie take it away.
Kind of cool, but they prepare the coffee from this little coffee bus right beside the restaurant. And this is the drive-through. They just come up to you and they ask you what you want. And yeah, I already know the coffee here, so I knew what I wanted. But I'm sure they'd be happy to provide a menu if you asked, or you can go online. And yeah, pretty cool. Never saw this before.
She's making it sound more one of a kind than it actually is. It's just the coffee equivalent of what a food truck is, or an ice cream truck. It quite literally is just the same concept, but for coffee.
Hi! Oh my gosh!
Oh god, no, run away. Don't be victim number 4.
It's okay. Hi! Hi!
That cat is so goddamn adorable. I just hope Foodie stays the hell away from that.
You're so cute! Yes, you are! You're chubby! You're chubby!
The sheer goddamn audacity of this woman to utter those words. Have you looked in the mirror?
Does anyone, I don't know if they do this in the West. I've never gotten, a car or knew anybody who had a car. When they bought it, they got a perfume with it. This came with a musk. And apparently they give away perfumes. But it actually does smell really nice. But it's not a car, I don't know if it's a car perfume actually. It might be a car perfume, or I don't know, but it smells like a musky cologne or something. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Let me know if they do that where you're from.
I'm pretty sure it's just an air freshener, which a lot of places do sell air fresheners, but some also give you ones with the car. It depends really where you go. I mean, it isn't strictly a Middle Eastern thing.
So, yeah. I know people are going to be like, it's because you stink. No, I smell really good, actually. I smell like oud and patchouli and rose vanilla. I smell nice. So anyways, I just thought I would talk to you guys about some things. Where do I start? I'm not organized at all.
Well, finding a topic and getting on point would be nice, because honestly, this is kind of boring right now.
I am going to be doing a challenge on my channel and in my life. So, yes, I need you guys to hold me accountable for this. Here we go. It's actually going to be a no drama challenge. I always come on here and, I always say that I'm going to do a lot of things. And I don't do half of the things I say I'm going to do. And that actually, bugs me. I know that changing is it's easier said than done. But I really, really, really don't want to be dragged into drama online. I don't like how it makes me feel. I don't like how the negative vibes it gives off.
Yeah, I'm going to stop you there. First, it's not just half, it's the majority of the things that you don't follow through with. Secondly, accountability is not a word in your vocabulary. You may know how to use it, you just don't know what it actually means. And third, you love drama. You love getting down and dirty, you like picking fights, you like having the last word and having the last laugh. You just don't like it when people get one up on you, because then you look like the butt of the joke, then you're embarrassed and you can't handle that. You have to be the one that always has to be perceived as, the one that won the fight. That's all it really comes down to. You love the drama, but only if you win, which is such a childish mentality. If you want to pick a fight, you're going to have to accept the fact that you may potentially lose, which, let's face it, the shit that you deal on a daily basis, you're going to come off on the losing end a lot of the times.
It's just not healthy, and it's really just time consuming, and I can think of so many ways to focus on myself and better myself that I just don't want to focus on anything else, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of scary to think about because you only really have two things going on in your life. You have drama and you have food. If you take away the drama, you're left with food. What are you going to do then? Are you just going to go hardcore 100% into the food?
I want to focus on becoming a better person that I always say I want to. And part of that is actually, I was watching a podcast from a Muslim woman, and it just really made sense to me, and it made me feel enlightened after that podcast. And I realized that the no drama and the positive vibes have to start with, changing how you entertain yourself. That's very important. The things that we consume for our brains, the things we feed our brains, are just as important as the things we feed our bodies. And I realized that I was paying attention to how I felt after watching this, podcast on Islam, and it just made me feel enlightened. It made me feel good, and it really inspired me. And whenever I watch other podcasts or drama streams, people bickering at each other, backbiting, telling lies, rumors, all this and that, it makes me feel not good, and it makes me want to do and say things that are not in my favor and just really do me no favors.
I mean, she just confirms what I said, that she likes the drama, she just doesn't like being perceived as a bad person and the negative outcomes for being perceived as a bad person. And also, if you don't want to deal with other people's opinions about you, because that's their problem, not yours, don't seek it out. Like, don't watch people's videos, don't watch people's live streams, don't Google yourself, don't check all the videos out on YouTube. You have to seek these out in order for people to hear what they have to say about you. And like, dude, you have your comments heavily censored. So if you don't want to see the stuff, you don't have to. And you can always just turn the comments off if you don't want to deal with it. So stop watching other people's videos and you'll be good, honestly.
Anyway, the podcast was talking about how to clean your heart and soul. And I know it's going to sound like weird to non-believers and to people who, people are just going to think I'm weird for talking. That's fine, whatever. Another one of the things I need to do is just do and say what I want and not worry about how other people are going to perceive it, because, there's always going to be somebody opposing what you say, and that's just how it is in life. So,
I mean, yes, but at the same time, it depends on the mindset of the person. Like, if you are a good person and you say and do things that help other people, there are going to be people who are going to criticize you. There are going to be people who say you do it for yourself, for your own self-interest, you do it for attention or likes or validation. Like, those people should be paid no mind. Continue what you're doing, you're a good person. But for someone like you, who is a bad person, who wants to say and do what they want and get away with it, or at least don't care about how other people perceive you, that doesn't mean it's good. It really depends on how you act and whether or not those actions are good. You can't really say, well, I'm going to say and do what I want regardless of what other people think, and that's going to make me a good person.
But they were talking about, you have your heart filled with darkness, with hate, with illness, and just negativity, and it's actually really bad for your heart and soul. It's really not good for you. And to cleanse that and become a better person, you have to start removing the things that are basically causing you to be ill in that way. So for example, as an analogy, when you have a wound that's infected, you have to start taking away the things that are keeping it infected. You have to take away the dirt, you have to take away the bacteria, you have to, and you have to cleanse it. And that works, it's starting with basically removing negativity in my surroundings, removing people who don't want anything good for you in your life, which is why, I'm happy with a smaller surrounding. I'm happy with very few friends, because I'd rather have few real people in my life than a bunch of fake people. Again, like I'll say, quality over quantity. So,
Yes, having a small inner group of people who hold you accountable for your actions is a good thing. That being said, you don't have friends, you have supporters, and those supporters will defend your actions regardless of how bad they are. Like, you can't say that quality over quantity is going to work, because you neither have quantity or quality in your support group. And the only person you really have would be your husband, but even then, your husband is on your payroll, so he can only criticize you for so long. Well, let's face it, you're not going to ditch him. You're not going to toss him out with the trash, because let's face it, you haven't got too many more choices, and like, beggars can't be choosers at this point. But at the end of the day, you don't have the support in which you're speaking of. So, like, if whatever, I guess. It's also kind of funny that the woman on the podcast uses the same metaphor that I do, except for morality, I talk about mental health. Like, if you have a physical injury, a cut, an open wound, a bullet wound, a burn, whatever it may be, it's the same thing as a mental injury, like a mental scar. If you have trauma, mental or emotional trauma, you have to get it fixed in the same way that you would get a cut fixed. Like, you would get a bandage, you would get it cleaned, you might get stitches. Same thing for mental and emotional trauma. You have to get that fixed, otherwise it could fester and it could cause a lot of damage in the long run. Like, it's funny that someone is comparing morality to a physical injury in the same way that I do the same thing. It's just interesting that, someone else sees that aspect too.
A couple years ago, maybe 2.5, 3 years ago or something like that, I used to have a huge following, and I realized that the majority of those people didn't want good for me. They wanted me to be in a situation where I wasn't happy. They wanted drama. They wanted all kinds of things that I didn't want, and their support was conditional, and that's fine. Like I said, I really want to work on being consistent with creating positive content for people. I want to use my platform for good, not to tear other people down, and I have done a lot of that, and I don't want to do that. I don't, even in self-defense, I don't want to, lower myself to a level that I'm not proud of, and that I'm going to have to work hard to get out of and make right with God, and I just really, really realized that that's what I need to focus on, and it's really hard. It's really hard navigating your way through social media when it's such a toxic place, and I don't want to contribute to that toxicity anymore. I want to make positive content, and if that means having a smaller following, that's okay. It might be temporary. Inshallah, maybe eventually I will bring in with a consistent, maybe in a year's time or something, few months time, if I really stick to this no negativity plan, maybe my content will draw in positive people, which will replace the negative ones. And that's kind of what I want to work on in a way, So I'm starting with, I'm going to start with a 7 days, no drama, no addressing drama, type of thing. And I'm going to actually take a good break from live streaming just for a little bit while I'm doing this, because I find it, people come in purposely trying to pull me into drama. And I just always take the bait, and I just need to learn to not do that.
There is so much to unpack here. Like, first of all, you say that you want a smaller audience because it's less drama, which you are at the epicenter of the drama. Like, you are the reason why you have so much drama surrounding you. It's not your audience's fault, it's your fault. Now, some of the people may draw you into the drama and they try to, pit you against other people for entertainment, but realistically, this all started because of you. People talk about your life and the things that you do. All of it is because of you. Now, you can say that the people that support you right now are like a small supportive community. They support you in a way that enables your bad behavior. That's not support. That's them egging you on, which is not a way of supporting someone. That is someone trying to deliberately cause drama. They are part of the bad that you need to get rid of, which, if you want to get rid of your entire community, which there's not much left, I think it would be a good idea to start from scratch. Which, honestly, at this point, I really doubt that you can, because no matter how much positivity you put out now, you're really just going to cause more drama in the long run, because you just can't keep yourself out of it. No matter what you do, there will always be drama follow you, because that's just who you are as a person.
I really, really need to. And I just have to forgive myself for my past, repent to God about it. I have. And the good thing about Islam is, basically, when you become Muslim, you take the Shahada, any sins you committed before you were Muslim are erased by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So basically, anything from my past, all of the stuff that's being talked about, distributed throughout drama channels, hate channels, whatever, it's irrelevant in my life now. It's not going to go away, but it does in my life. And so basically, that's what I have to focus on. That's what I have to focus on, and just let people ruminate about things that are not, relevant anymore to me.
I mean, I guess people can call my view narrow-minded if they want. Like, I personally don't believe in God, and I don't really like the concept of forgiving sin on someone else's behalf. Like, if you are someone who sins and it only harms you, and you want to forgive yourself and you want to seek forgiveness from God, yeah, all power to you. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's not my beliefs, but it's your beliefs. Go right ahead. It doesn't affect me. It's not my right. It's your right. Do whatever you need to do. That being said, your right of forgiveness does not extend to sin that has harmed other people. If they don't want to forgive you, that is completely up to them. If they don't accept your apology, that is completely up to them. And it is not your right to forgive yourself when someone else hasn't forgiven you for the harm that you have done to them. In the same way that it's not God's or any other higher being's right to give forgiveness on their behalf. Like, that's not, I don't care whether or not God himself is the creator of the universe. I don't give two shits. Like, you do not get the right to extend forgiveness on someone else's behalf, God or not. Same thing with you. You don't get to forgive yourself if someone else has not forgiven you yet. Like, just, God, it screams narcissism from both sides, God or not.
So, yeah, that being said, I have filled out an intake for some psychotherapy. I will hopefully hear from them soon. Yeah, that's all I'm pretty much going to say about that. I might share some things that I've learned throughout it, but I'm not going to tell you, much more about that right now, because I don't really have much to share about that. But I did take that step because I realized, there are a lot of traumas in the past few years, and even before that in my life, that I've just bottled up, and I haven't dealt with these feelings, and it's a tale as old as time. If you suppress them, they eventually come out in ways you never would imagine, and they come out at times when something else triggers you to think of them, and that's what happened. And I just, yeah.
I'm not going to pretend like I'm some perfect little angel. Like, I have said and done things in the past that I regret, and that hopefully I have learned from, grown from, and become a better person. I say hope because it's not really up for me to decide whether or not I am a better person. It's kind of the people around me who know me to really decide for. That being said, there's a difference between having an action and reaction because of poor mental health or trauma or a disability or disorder, and you justifying those things. And you and Amber always justify. So if you are willing to go seek mental help and actually fix the problems that you have and stop using them as a justification in the future, then yeah, sure. Well, most people would probably give you a little bit of slack. There's a lot of other things that are really unforgivable that you have done that people can criticize you for, but at least you're willing to try and improve in one area. Like, you have a lot of apologies to make before most people would consider you to really be a moral person again. And like I said before, the only people who can really accept your apology are the people that were wronged. That being said, we are allowed to criticize you for your actions. Like, we can't accept the forgiveness on their behalf, but we can certainly criticize you for your actions.
Move on and really focus on what's important. You know, I realize that I'm not here to please anyone in life other than, you know, God, Allah. He's the one that I'm meant to please, and I've not been doing a very good job, as I've said many times. And, you know, this journey into Islam is very important to me, and I haven't been focusing on that like I should be. I have not been, you know, doing that, and I've just been focusing on all the wrong things, and it's been depressing and just not a good feeling. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. So you know, inshallah, I will succeed at 7 days. Then I can aim for another 7 days until 7 days becomes a lifetime.
By the time this video is posted, it's probably going to be 2 days in, so I'm going to assume within the next 5 days, she's going to rage at some point. Like, she will go full foodie mode on someone. It's going to be either FFG or like Yaba or someone like that. She's going to go full, just foodie, rage, mental breakdown, spiral mode within the next week or so. Like, it always happens. She says this, and then she breaks.
And I've succeeded in my goal. So I have other goals, but I'll leave those for another time. I think, you know, I'm feeling positive that I'm taking the first steps, and hopefully my try now with this, and hopefully this try with therapy will be more successful than the other ones I've had in the past. I've tried so many times.
Alright, so she changes the subject to traveling, and as much as I really want to hear that, I am so sick of her picking up that stupid-ass coffee and shaking it. It is so annoying at this point.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about travel. I haven't been mentally very well.
I don't know what it is, but that goddamn coffee is annoying the shit out of me. I just want to climb through the computer screen and throw it out the window.
And also physically, and I think that you know, I would just like to focus on myself a bit more before I travel. So Salah was talking to me about taking a break.
Honestly, I fully understand and agree with him. Like, if I was dating you, I would need a full month. Just, like, no phone calls, no messages, no nothing. I'll take the cat and the hamster. You go about your business. Leave me the hell alone.
From YouTube for a little bit so that I can focus on myself. So I'm really just thinking about that. I don't want to announce anything, you know, grandiose, permanent until I've really thought about it. I said I would think about it. You know, I would have to plan my time away to keep myself busy, what I want to do, stuff like that, you know, maybe go on some day trips with Salah, really just enjoy our time together and strengthen our relationship even more, focus on ourselves, you know, and I think that would be a really good thing. But I would miss you guys. I mean, it wouldn't be forever, you know, it would be just a break, but
I don't know what it is, but the moment she said she wanted to keep herself busy, like when she was away from YouTube, my brain was like, you know what, it'd be funny to see her train for a marathon.
I think that I've never taken a real good break from YouTube. You know, I think that might do me some good, you know. Even people who work normal jobs, they need vacation time too. They need days off, you know. So I know my job is not physically exhausting, but it is mentally in a lot of ways.
I'm sorry, what? Where exactly is the mental exhaustion in your job? Because the majority of what you do is eat. And occasionally eat on camera while you talk shit about someone else. Like, sure, you might travel, but traveling is supposed to be fun. If that's supposed to be exhausting, maybe you're doing it wrong. But, like, I don't see the exhaustion because, like, you don't do much other than eat.
So I think that could do some good. So I just wanted to let you know I'm thinking about it. I haven't made any decisions. I really want to also work on thinking things through before I actually make permanent decisions, because I have almost I've brought a lot of pain on myself from being so impulsive. And I want to talk about that in therapy. There's a lot of things I want to learn how to cope with. I want some tools how to cope, because I want to learn how to set boundaries for myself. I want to learn how to basically learn how to stop being so impulsive. I want to learn emotional intelligence, even more. And I just want to do all those things. And I think you guys were right. Like, I think I do need some help with that from somebody who's trained to deal with those things. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, and
The thing is, if she was willing to change and take genuine criticism, most people would say go one step at a time. Like, take one thing that you don't like about yourself or your life and just work on that until you can fix it, it's over and done with, and then move on to the next one. Foodie, however, is going to be too impulsive. She's going to go for anything and everything that really just annoys her at that particular time. She's going to stretch herself way too thin, and then she's just going to have a breakdown and just lash out and attack anyone and everyone. So I decided to actually check in the last couple of minutes, and nothing noteworthy was happening. And even though she said she wanted to take a break from live streaming, I literally just got a notification on my phone to say that she's currently live streaming right now, or at least she was. No, sorry, she was live streaming. The live stream is over now. So at one point, she was live streaming today. So that already was a fail. That being said, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully get to see you lovely people in the next one. Bye-bye.